Hello and welcome to Big Friendly Grub. I hope you are safe and well. Now, if you've been on the channel before, then you might remember that I did a unboxing of a Morrison's food box about a month ago. Morrison started doing food boxes because in the wake of the COVID pandemic, it was getting really hard to get like online slots for home delivery, and going out in general, but going out to the store was doable, but it was discouraged. You know, going outside is still discouraged. We're still in lockdown and it's now the end of April. Because of that, Morrison started doing food boxes with a lot of basics in them, like toilet roll, pasta, tin food, other bits and pieces like that. And people said it was a really useful video. And I thought, because now it's been like a month since then, maybe I'll order another box and see what's in that. Now, Morrison's were one of the first companies, I think, to do that. But since then, other companies have started doing it. M&S have started doing it, and they work out at roughly £35, the same as the Morrison's box. But also, I've discovered that another company have started doing it, and that's Aldi. And I ordered one of their boxes, which I have right here. It's quite heavy. Now this one works out at £24.99, so 25 quid. So that's £10 cheaper than the Morrison's box and the Marks and Spencer's ones. Marks and Spencer's have got quite a variety of boxes, but because this one was like £10 cheaper, I wanted to get this because it was cheaper. And I also wanted to see whether, it was comparable, to the Morrison's box in terms of what you get inside it and for the value of money. Aldi generally work out cheaper anyway because they are more of a budget store, they're classed as. But they still do really, really good products. It's not always brand stuff, but it's still really good products. So I have a feeling that this should be a pretty good box for its money, but I still have no idea what's in it. So I thought I'll do another unboxing. It enables me to stock up on my basic ingredients again, because it has been a month since I got that Morrison's box. And I have been popping out here and there just to kind of stock up on the odd thing. But I try not to go out too much just because it is generally not encouraged to still go out as much. And it gives me a bit of anxiety, I'll be quite honest. It's still not safe out there. I don't want to spread things around. So I thought, let's order another box and let's see what's in it. It might prove useful again, but we'll see. I'm going to see what's in this box. So I'm going to get started. I think I'm going to move this to one side a bit. So I'm going to open it up. A good start was the fact that it was actually delivered to the right house. When my Morrison's box was delivered, it was actually delivered to the wrong house at first, which was absolutely no good when you're trying to social distance. So diving straight in this time, I have got here some 6 brown bake-at-home bread rolls. So these are, rather than having like bread each time, I've got these little rolls which you can then bake in the oven. So you bake them in the oven for about 10 minutes, and that's actually quite good because then I can actually just portion these out. These actually freeze quite well, I think. Suitable for freezing, yeah. So I can chuck these in the freezer and I can just take 1 or 2 out at a time and use those. So that's actually really good because it saves me having to use a whole loaf of bread, or if I haven't got space in the freezer for a whole loaf of bread, then I can freeze these, and that's a lot more manageable, so that'd be quite good. More loo roll, we will always need loo roll, and that's always handy, obviously, because we need it for bodily functions. It says Saxon Softest, and it's aloe vera 3-ply toilet tissue, so it seems pretty decent. It doesn't sound like it's going to sandpaper your butt, basically, so that'll be useful. Again, I'm quite well stocked for toilet roll, so if anyone needs any, if I know you and I live near you and you need any toilet roll, let me know, because I've got some to spare now. What else have we got in here? I have got, hello. I've got some biscuits, a big old pack of biscuits. Check that out. Essential? Maybe not, but who doesn't want biscuits at the moment? I mean, we're at home, we're kind of like, there's not much else to do. You might as well treat yourself to a couple of biscuits with your cup of tea or cup of coffee or whatever floats your boat. But in here we've got like nice plastic British biscuits, literally nice biscuits. We've got custard creams. We've got the almighty bourbon, which I declared the best biscuit in my biscuit review, if you watch back to that in the earlier days of the channel. And then we've got some shortcake, which is basically shortbread. So there's a load of biscuits there. That'll keep me going for ages. I was going to say I can share them with guests, but I can't have any guests at the moment. But, more for me, I guess. And what next have we got? Hey, pasta. More pasta. Always useful. Pasta's still hard to come by. I've popped into Tesco Express nearby and I haven't seen any pasta on the shelves yet. So obviously people are still using it. I can always make use of pasta. I like to bulk make pasta dishes. So, some fusilli pasta is one of my favourite kinds. So I can bulk make some more pasta dishes that will last me a few days, or I can use for lunch as well because I'm having to make lunches at home. Always good, can always use pasta. So that is good. You know, the fact that you get that, you're kind of like pretty much guaranteed to get some pasta in one of these boxes, I think. So if you are running low on pasta or some sort of dried food, pick one up, why not? And then I've got some basmati rice, microwavable basmati rice. Always use these things, they're so useful and they cook really well and there's nothing wrong with them at all. I use these things quite often because, to be honest, making rice for just myself, boiling it is a bit of a faff, so I prefer to use these. So these are really good, so another one of those, always useful. Then what do we have next? Ooh, more sweet stuff. So this one's got a bit more, you know, bit more treat stuff rather than necessarily just essentials. So that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that because, you know, in these times you need to have a treat or two because it's not fun times, it is like worrying times and you've got to have something to pick yourself up. You know, you can't just gorge yourself on like pasta dishes and tin food all the time. So, you know, some smooth and silky chocolate. So again, it's not brand name stuff necessarily, but you know, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's milk chocolate. So even if it's not the best quality, it will do in a pinch. Then what else do we have here? Oh, hello. A big old bag of salted peanuts. I love peanuts. Peanuts are my kryptonite. You know, anything with peanuts, peanut butter, stuff like that, I absolutely love. So the fact that there's some more snacky stuff in there is good, but to be honest, I mean, that's a lot of peanuts. Well, I could sit there and eat the whole bag, but I probably won't because it's not a good idea. But I could also use this with some homemade peanut butter, blitz this up, it's already salted, it's already roasted. So I could do that if I wanted to, and I probably will, to be fair. And then, what else? So, another pack of rice, so that's 2 of those, so that's handy. Bit bashed, but that's okay because it's only tea bags. Gold Blend by Diplomat. Again, not brand name stuff, I have no idea what these are like. It'll do in a pinch, you know, I'm still quite good for tea. I'm not the biggest tea drinker, I'm more of a coffee drinker. But yeah, the fact that there are tea bags in there, if you're running low, all good. Don't know what they're like, but I won't grumble. It's a cup of tea and it'll do in a pinch. So what else have we got here? Oh, speaking of coffee, there is a big old jar of instant coffee. It's probably not going to be the best coffee, to be honest. It's Al Cafe Gold Roast. So if that's not a rip-off of Gold Blend, then nothing is. But again, it's coffee, it'll do in a pinch, you know. I do like good coffee, but I'm not a coffee snob. So if I do run low, then I will crack into this quite happily and drink it, you know, it will keep me going through the day. So if you are a coffee snob, then give this to someone else then if they need it. If they want it, it's up to you. That's a nice big jar, so that will keep me going for a bit. Then, what else do we have in here? What is in here? This is in a bag of some kind, so I'm guessing it's breakable. So if this breaks, then it might be why it's in the bag. It's quite hefty. It's a jar. It is a jar, so that's actually quite good because, you know, it's a liquid, and if it broke, it would go everywhere. So that's good that they do that, you know, because if it breaks, then that means your stuff isn't covered in bolognese sauce. I don't know why I hard pronounced the G there, but again, it's not brand name stuff. It's Cucina or whoever that is, but you know, pasta sauce is always useful. If I want to make a spag bowl or something like that, then that's to hand. I usually generally make my own, but again, if I want to do something in a pinch, then I can use this. If I want to add stuff to it, I always can. It's really good to use as a base. Don't turn your nose up at, you know, jarred pasta sauces and stuff like that because they are really handy, and especially if you're low on time or you just can't be arsed. So that's good. Then what else have we got in here? He says, throwing around the one of the bag items, that means it's breakable, but from what this feels like, this could be quite promising. It feels like to me, yes it is, it's hand wash, which is good because I'm going to need to wash my hands after handling all of this stuff. So this is quite good. I'm okay for hand wash at the moment, but you know, I don't have any spare. So when these ones that I've currently got run out in the bathroom and in the kitchen, I will need a new one. So that's good. So I now have one. So that's good. You know, it's hand wash. You know, it doesn't need to be a brand name as long as it kills germs, which it does. 99.9% of bacteria, which they always claim. There's always that 0.1% that it doesn't get killed. But hand wash, useful. So the fact that that's in the box, which was not in the Morrison's box, is really useful. Then what's next? We've got another bagged item here. This feels, again, like a liquid, but it's in a carton, I think. So got to try and get into here. Ah, here we go. Okay, it's not fresh, but we've got some long life semi-skimmed milk. So that's actually quite handy. I mean, I'm quite good for milk at the moment. I've got a couple of cartons of the Cravendale in the cupboard, which lasts a while. But if I run low after that, then, you know, long life milk, it's not the best. You know, it can be a bit, sometimes a bit of a funny taste. But again, it'll do in a pinch, it'll do in a cup of tea, do in a cup of coffee, or I could use it for a sauce or something like that. The fact that there's going to be some milk in the cupboard that should last a while. I haven't bought long life milk for such a long time. I don't know how long it lasts. October, okay, that's good to know. So, you know, if I can just chuck this in the cupboard and not worry about it for a good few months. So that's actually pretty handy. So if I do run low at any point and forget to go out and get any milk and I need an emergency cup of tea or something, then that's in the cupboard. Then looks like what we've got left is tin stuff, and we've got a 4-pack of super sweet corns. That's a heck of a lot of sweet corn. I like sweet corn, don't eat it that often either, and I don't know what I'm going to do with 4 tins of the stuff, but I can use it to bulk out some dishes, I guess. I can chuck it into things, get some corn in there. I really like sweet corn. Tin food is really handy at the moment, so, and it looks like there is more tin food in here than the Morrison's box. So if you're looking for long life stuff, this is all dry ingredients. It doesn't look like there's any fresh stuff in here. Then this is going to be a good box for you. And more tin stuff. So I've got a tin of Creations chicken and noodle soup. Bramwell's Creations chicken and noodle soup. So soups is always handy for a quick meal, especially for lunchtimes. I'm not a big soup eater, but I do like chicken and noodle soup. So that's all good. What next? Another soup. So I have a feeling there might be quite a few soups in here. We've got Bramwell's cream of tomato soup. That should be quite a good one. I enjoy cream of tomato soups. Again, good for lunches. Ugh. How many soups are we going to have? Is this another one? No, this is some 4 Seasons sliced carrots in water. That'll be handy. This will be handy for chucking in things like stews and things like that, or I could perhaps mash them up with something. Yeah, I do quite like carrot and swede, so if I ever get my hands on a swede, I could do like mashed carrot and swede or something like that. But tin stuff, always useful at the moment. Glad I dropped that there and not on my glass table. That could have ended badly. Right, Mr. Butterfingers, what's next? More soup. So Bramwell's minestrone soup. I'm not the biggest lover of minestrone soup, to be honest. I don't know why. It's just never appealed to me that much. But to be honest, I'm not going to turn my nose up at it at the moment, because, you know, any food is good food at the moment. So if you are running low on stuff, another tin of soup. I am going to be having soup for days. Another thing that I've been eating quite a bit of recently, baked beans. Again, not branded. Well, it is a brand, but it's definitely not a well-known brand. Coral, premium quality baked beans. So again, they're beans, have them on toast, chuck them into food. You could chuck them into a corned beef hash. I made a recipe for one of those a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, they're always useful to have in the cupboards. Then what else do we have? Ooh, rice pudding. Haven't had rice pudding in ages. Well, that'll bring back some memories. When was the last time I had rice pudding? Jesus, I can't remember. It must have been ages ago. But that's good, because I haven't been having a lot of desserts. I enjoy desserts, but I don't make them a lot. But every now and again I do fancy just something sweet. So that'll be really nice. That'll be a nice throwback. That's a nice little surprise for you guys. So that's brought back some nostalgia already. Then we're running down to the last few things. So I've got some peeled plum tomatoes. Tin tomatoes are always so useful. I use them all the time. I use them for sauces and things like that. So I won't grumble about those. They should be pretty good. Yeah, I prefer plum tomatoes. I even like them on toast sometimes. So maybe I'll do that as an alternative lunch or a breakfast or something like that. What's this? Oh, hello. So we've got a tin of chili con carne. It's been a while since I've had like a tinned chili con carne, but I'm willing to give it a go. I don't turn my nose up at tin food. I used to grow up on it quite a lot. My mum used to get park campers a lot. We eat all sorts of things out of there. So I'm not going to turn up a tin of chili con carne. I can pimp it up if I want to. Bit of Worcester sauce, add some more hot sauce in there. Use it as a base for something, you know. I'm not going to turn my nose up at it. It says tasty topped with avocado. It's not what I'd usually do. Bit of sour cream on the top of it, or creme fraiche is nice though. But yeah, I will quite happily eat that. Could even make a lunch out of it one day. Then last by no means least, and oh, this is actually pretty good, a nice big 4-pack of tuna chunks. I really like tin tuna. I like making tuna mayo sandwiches and other bits and pieces like that, and it's really good when put into tuna mayo and put onto a top of a jacket potato. And that's quite a big pack of tuna, and tuna's not usually that cheap. Even like, I imagine like cheap stuff is going to be fetching you like 4 or 5 quid probably, so that's actually pretty good. But that's good, you know, and it says it's responsibly sourced, which I would blooming hope so by now. Everything should be responsibly sourced. But that's good, so more tin stuff. So this box has been really good for tin stuff. Lots of basics in there. The pasta's always useful. You know, the tin stuff, all of it is going to be useful. You know, there's no like proper like bread in there or anything like that, but there is a lot of stuff that will go a long way in there. It's really good for essential stuff in terms of like having stuff to stock up your cupboards that will keep you going for a bit. So it's different to the Morrison's box. It doesn't have a lot of like stuff to go, well, it doesn't have anything to go in your freezer or fridge necessarily, or supposed to. Like I say, some of that could go into the freezer, but it's a really useful box. I'm quite happy with that. It's got a fair whack in it. And I think for 25 quid, it's pretty good value for money. You know, I ordered it like a couple of days ago and it came pretty quickly. So if you are looking for something that's a bit more affordable, something to kind of stock up your cupboards, then it's really, really handy. So it's up to you to decide what you need. There are a few options out there now. If you are still struggling to get a delivery slot, if you are struggling and you don't want to go out, then maybe an Aldi food box will do you good. So I think it's pretty good for the money, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to go sort all this stuff out and give my hands a good wash, because I've been handling all this stuff. Don't want to go touching my face or anything like that until I've done that. But hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, then like the video. If you're enjoying the channel or you're finding it useful in these times, or any times to be honest, then subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I'm going to go head off, sort this all out, and I hope you're staying safe and well. And I will see you next time on Big Frickling Grub, I hope. Take care. Bye.